What is going on, everyone? Commodore Laz here today, bringing to you a Haikyuu discussion video, and today we'll be creating our very own Haikyuu team, the anime-only version. So, what exactly is this? Well, I'm gonna break it down. So, for those people who are unaware exactly of what I'm talking about, basically, I put up a tweet a couple days ago. By the time this video actually goes live, it'll be sometime during the weekend. But basically, I was gonna make this discussion video, creating my very own Haikyuu team, kind of similar to the create a character videos I've done with, One Piece and Tower of God. Instead, I want to do one for Haikyuu. What kind of team I would assemble, basically, if I want to go and challenge nationals, who I think would be the best team that I could take that could win it all. And instead of just, merging both what we know in the anime and what we know from the manga, I want to separate the two, so that way, at least, the anime onlys who watch up until season 3 can be able to see this one, and for those of us, who are fans of the manga, could be able to experience that video at another time. So, with this one, we're only going to be talking about the characters that we've seen so far from season 1 up until season 3, their progression that we saw thus far in the series. And again, if you want to make your own teams whatsoever, leave them down in the comment section below. Before we even get into the actual crafting of my own team using what we know from season 1 to season 3, if you guys have not subscribed to the channel already, if you're looking for more Haikyuu content, whether it be through discussions or current live reactions to the current events in the manga right now, consider subscribing if you haven't already. But with that all being said, let us jump into my very own all-star team in the Haikyuu series. So starting off this team, we're going to go ahead and build up the offense. So of course we have our first setter, we have 2 middle blockers, and our 3 wing spikers. That's pretty much the offense. And then of course when the libero comes in afterwards, we switch them out with one of the wing spikers so they play on defense. And to start things off, we're going to go with the setter. And the setter I'm taking with me on my team that's going to be drafted first is from Karasuno. I gotta take my man Tobio Kageyama. And honestly, this is tough because I really could have gone with Akashi. I could have gone even with Oikawa, maybe even Kanma and those guys. But honestly, by that point in time for season 3, I think Kageyama, perfect choice. I mean, he kind of demonstrated himself already in the Alba Josai matchup, and especially, going against Shiro Toizawa, leading to some very crucial points that were scored towards, the very ends of, the final set. So if I need somebody right now that I can rely on to, be able to rack up, as many assists as he can, that leads to some critical points being scored afterwards, Kageyama is my guy that I'm taking. In the middle blocker positions, one of them was very easy to make. The other one, I was like, man, I gotta go with the progression for this one. So the first middle blocker spot, I gotta give it to my boy, man, the GOAT, man, the guest monster himself from Shiro Toizawa. Y'all already know that man's my #1 favorite character in the series, Tendo Satori. Listen, guest monsters, how much I can say on that, man. That dude is an absolute demon on the court. I need some kind of sicko on my team, at the very least in the starting lineup, and there's no other person that does it better than Tendo Satori. So he goes in the first middle blocker spot. In the second one, this is where I know some people probably not going to agree with it. I know some people, would, from a, progression standpoint, I guess, from where they, hold themselves together as a defensive player. But I am going with Kei Tsukishima as the second middle blocker. And again, his progression is going to be something to behold, in this series. But the Shiro Toizawa matchup, he stopped Ushijima, one of the biggest moments in the entire series. I have to take him there in the second middle blocker spot. In the 3 wing spikers, this is where it's getting interesting, because then obviously factor in the libero afterwards to the switch. But by 3 wing spikers, I am going with number 1, Wakatoshi Ushijima, one of the 3 aces. Has to be a lock for me. Number 2 being Hajime Iwaizumi. I have to have him in there. I think he is criminally underrated. There's a lot of, especially, late in the series, there's a lot of wing spikers that we know that are, amazing and everything. But Iwaizumi, pair him up with Oikawa. That dude is crazy. He's absolutely crazy. I need him on my team. And the number 3 wing spiker is going to be, hey, I gotta bring Kotaro Bokuto. I had to throw it in there if it's cheesy. But Kotaro Bokuto, we gotta have him in there when he's on his A game. He's equivalent to that of the 3 aces. So he's gonna make it in there. But I'm switching him out in the swap with Nishinoya at libero. And the reason I'm going to do this, instead of swapping out, let's say, for example, a Tsukishima or a Iwaizumi or whatever, with Bokuto, the downside to him, of course, that we know in the series is that whenever his morale is low, his performance decreases afterwards. And I'll be honest with you, if I'm on a winning team, I want someone to be able to hold things down both on the offensive and defensive aspect. I can rely on Bokuto when it comes from an offensive standpoint, but defensive, I don't know if I can feel that, especially let's say, with him kind of being in that kind of momentum and everything going on, I'd rather take him out, you know, maybe have a Kashi or something, slap him in the head, you know, try and get them together and everything. And then once it goes back on offense, then things can get a little bit better. So yeah, that's pretty much, you know, the starting lineup. We have Kageyama at setter, we have Satori and Tsukishima at middle blocker. Then we have the three wing spikers being Ushijima, Iwaizumi, and then Bokuto in the reserve spot. So these are my substitutes, the 5 that I have currently on the bench. For the setter position, for whatever reason, Kageyama just doesn't get the job done. I have to take Toru Oikawa from Aoba Josai. Look, if we're talking about prior to part 2 between Karasuno and Aoba Josai, Oikawa would have been my starting setter. But, you know, one is going to be heading off to nationals. The other one is, they're done. Their high school career is already concluded. And even with that, considering fact, though, if you know, between, you know, the likes of Kenma and with Akashi and them, I still like Oikawa a lot more. And again, maybe you could say even luck to a certain extent for Karasuno is the way they got by them, but their talent did shine, and I can't, you know, overlook Oikawa even despite that. Like, I have to have him in there. You want, you know, 2 elite setters. I think Kageyama and Oikawa, at least from an anime standpoint, have to be in there. So Oikawa at the reserve spot for the setter. The middle blockers that I'm going to have, and of course I got to have my main man now, Hinata Shoyo, in there as one of the other middle blockers. And then I'm going to Nekoma for this one, and that is Tetsuro Kuro I'm taking at the middle blocker spot. Again, Kuro is a good man. He's already proven himself, you know, in the practice matches that we have seen so far, you know, in the anime. And, you know, I feel like he's going to be a talent that is going to be revered later down the line. And the wing spikers is going to be interesting, because for this one I'm taking 2 members from Karasuno, and I'm taking Ryunosuke Tanaka and Daichi Sawamura. Tanaka, of course, again, he is going to be the up-and-coming rising ace for Karasuno. So if I need someone who's going to be taking Azumane's spot later on down the line, I want to go with somebody who's on the come-up, and it's going to lead me to hopefully back-to-back championships. Tanaka's going to be in that spot. And then Daichi, I need someone who's going to have that captain presence, someone that I know that is going to be helping them out and stuff, you know, on the court, being able to, you know, raise their spirits and their morales. And from a defensive standpoint, Daichi is really damn good as well. A reliable defensive player, you know, on his end as well. And it's not to mention being a wing spiker, so he's going to rack up some points as well. So that's who I have right now in the reserves. Again, reserve setter being Oikawa, the middle blockers being Kuro and Hinata, and then the wing spikers, of course, being Tanaka and Sawamura. That is pretty much going to comprise the team that I'm making for the anime only, again, from season 1 up until season 3. But if you guys have your own list down in the comment section below, you would like to let me know, who exactly would you put in your own Haikyuu all-star team using characters, again, from season 1 up until season 3. Let me know down in the comments. If you guys like the team that you see right here, leave a like on the video. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, you want to be a part of the Haikyuu journey here on the channel, whether it be through similar discussions like this, or you want to be a part of the, you know, live commentary to the current events in the manga, consider subscribing if you haven't already. And if you're looking forward to a manga only one as well, let me know down in the comments. That one will probably be sometime up on the weekend. This is uploaded on Saturday. You'll see the other one possibly on the Sunday. The best of both worlds. And with that all being said, guys, I will catch you guys in the manga only one. And if I don't see you then, I will see you guys for chapter 321 when I get back from New York. Until next time, guys, I will catch you in the next one. So, Commodore Lad signing off. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, take care.